private message on social media.
And I opened it up and he just started talking, saying hi, asking me, where I lived, what I did, basic, normal conversation.
The conversation took off and Kcal was smitten until her new online beau made it clear he wanted her money.
And he had said that his mother was sick and that he was going to blackmail me if I didn't send him $6,000.
Kcal was another victim of a romance scam.
I remember where I was sitting when I realized it. You feel really disappointed, and almost this is why you don't let your guard down too easily.
In California, victims of romance scams lost more than $158 million last year alone. This man, who asked us not to use his real name, so we'll call him James, refers to himself as a reformed scammer who preyed on women looking for love. What would you tell these women? How did you get them to give you money?
I start friendship with them. I make them fall in love. I make them laugh. I do things they like.
James lives in Nigeria, but targeted women across the U.S., the UK, and Canada. He says he would scour dating.
She gave me over $20,000, and at some point she became sick, she became depressed. She really wanted to know who I really was because she figured out I was criminal, and I felt this kind of guilty conscience.
At age 21, James stopped scamming, but he says it's a common profession in Nigeria, where unemployment is high and wages are low.
The truth is, it is common, it's a common thing. You grow up knowing about it.
Even with a college degree, James says the average salary in Nigeria is $100 to $200 a month. James is now working for the other side, the website Social Catfish, that helps online daters investigate their potential suitors if they suspect them of fraud. He says the best way to protect yourself is to never engage with someone who won't video chat or meet in person. And if anyone asks you for money online, chances are their intentions are not sincere.
And I also think that women need to know that they are enough for somebody and that their love doesn't have to be bought.
James said he would request money via PayPal, Zelle, Venmo, even gift cards, which means once his victim sent him the money, it was nearly impossible for them to recover it. Christine Lazar, Kcal News.
Now new here at 4, an update now to a construction accident in Pacoima yesterday. A wall collapsed on 2 construction workers, injuring one and killing the other. Assignment editor Mike Rogers at the desk now. And Mike, you have new details on the man who was killed, right?
Yeah, that's right, Juan. I was just checking with the coroner over the LA County coroner, and they've identified him as Javier Calderon. We'll show you some video there from yesterday. Calderon was a construction worker here when something went wrong in that ditch as they were building a wall there to the left side of the screen. Right there, you can see that wall collapse, landing on Calderon and one other construction worker that was injured and sent to the hospital with back pains. Now, I found an online fundraiser for Calderon. They say he was, more than just a construction worker. He was a father, a grandfather to 3 grandkids. Their family obviously very distraught to see this news. Now, as we come back out here to the desk, Juan, I also went through California OSHA records because this was a construction site. Any prior incidents at this site would have been reported and investigated by OSHA. I did not find anything there to indicate there was any kind of previous issues, but you can be assured that OSHA is now investigating.
Yeah, so sad nonetheless.
Yeah.
Mike, thanks so much for that. Another loss for LA's restaurant scene. The owner of Nick's on Beverly says he can't afford to stay open any longer. Like many restaurants, it struggled during. They never really recovered.
This is great, and man.
On Beverly, third meal before it closes, and one last meal before it closes in a week.
This is one of my favorite vegan restaurants, and I'm just so sad that they're closing.
The owner, Nick Adler, says he can no longer afford to keep his restaurant open after 4 years of serving up vegan dishes in a location that is close to his heart.
This is where I had my first date with my girlfriend. It's a very special place to me. and I don't want to walk out that door for the final time.
Adler, who also owns other restaurants like Monty's Good Burger, says they barely survived the COVID shutdown. And now with the rent that is due, inflation, and the writer's strike, it's all too much.
Landlords are coming for the time when we were at our weakest. We weren't in charge. We had to close. Rent is tens of thousands of dollars.
We're pretty much at a point where landlords are kind of asking for back rent, or restaurants who've really just been struggling have realized that they're going to throw the towel, you know.
Matthew King, the lead editor of Eater LA, says the restaurant industry is in a big upheaval as owners try to adapt to the changes and increasing costs.